Hello friends, today we're making banana donuts, but this recipe is very different because it does not require any yeast or baking powder. Well, let's get started. But before that, please subscribe my channel if you haven't and press the bell icon because every week we are going to upload a new recipe. Well, let's get started. So we need all-purpose flour or maida 2 cups, raw sugar or jaggery half cup, curd or yogurt half cup, baking soda half teaspoon, cardamom powder half teaspoon and 1 rug banana. So now I'm going to just take the banana and add it into a mixing bowl or blender, and I'm adding in my yogurt or curd, and this is a sour yogurt. So if you don't have a sour yogurt, add in half teaspoon of lemon juice and add now the raw sugar or jaggery and make it into a smooth paste. Now I'm mixing my dry ingredients. I'm taking my all-purpose flour, adding in baking soda, cardamom powder and salt, and I'm mixing it really well. Cardamom powder not only adds really good flavor in this recipe, but also it cuts down our sugar cravings. So if you are someone who will reach back to donuts all the time because of you crave something sugar, then make sure that you make this recipe. You will feel satiated even after consuming 1 or 2 donuts. Well, that's a good thing, right? And now I'm mixing in the wet ingredients and I'm going to mix well. So make sure you take the puree only as much required, and if you're feeling you're short of puree, you can add in a little bit of water and mix it as well. So now I'm going to mix finely. I need some more puree of this, so I'm just scraping the bowl and mixing again. So this dough is going to be quite sticky, so now I'm going to use my hand, knead well. It's going to be a little bit of a sticky dough, and now it's forming well, as you can see. And now I'm going to rest it for 4 to 5 hours. This is very important step. After 5 hours, you can see that the dough has risen really well. Do you see the air bubbles there forming? That means that our dough has come to a good consistency. And now I'm going to flat it into thick sheet, and then we are going to cut it into donut shapes. Make sure that the sheet what you're rolling is quite thick. I'll show you the consistency. This much. This is what we are going for. And I have 2 lids. So we are going to achieve the donut shape with the help of these 2 lids. You don't have to invest in donut cutters. So I'm going to cut into smaller rounds now, and I'm not going to waste those rounds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fry them and make into those small donut balls. So I'm going to keep it aside, and now I'm going to fry the donut balls first because I also test the oil whether it's hot or not. So it's rising really well. These donut balls are really good to eat. Believe me, they are like the perfect snacks. And now I'm going to fry the donuts. Make sure that the oil is hot when you're putting it in. And for this recipe, I'm sorry, we cannot bake. We have to fry this because we are not using any self-rising agents. So now I'm making powdered jaggery donut, where I've just powdered the jaggery and I'm just rolling in the donuts. So this is kind of like an old-fashioned donuts. And I'm also making glaze now. So I've taken 2 tablespoons of butter and I'm adding the jaggery to this. So you can see that adding jaggery gives a really nice caramel color. So rather than white glaze, you actually get that caramel color glaze, which is very nice. And I'm going to just mix it until the butter and this raw sugar combines really well. Adding in 2 tablespoons of fresh cream or milk, and I'm going to mix well. So this is our jaggery glaze. And if you haven't done this, I want you to try it because this glaze tastes so good. It's yummy glaze. And look at the color, amazing. So now the glaze is all well combined. And now I'm going to add my donuts and make sure that I do it couple of times so that it's evenly coated everywhere, and I'm going to set aside. And now for the same glaze, I'm adding 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder to make it into a chocolate glaze. So we are going for a 3 type of donuts here. One is sugar powdered, another one is glazed, and another one is chocolate glazed. I'm going to mix it well, and now I'm going to drop in my donuts and coat it really well. And make sure that these donuts are completely cooled before you enjoy, because usually the glazes are quite hot. So now it's all coated really nice, and I have drizzled some white chocolate on it, the homemade one. And enjoy. I hope you liked the recipe and stay subscribed.